Good evening, Ebenezer family. I am Minister Lonnie Harris, and welcome back to Freedom in the Word. We are on week number 2. Our topic is focusing on fatherhood. We are pleased to have joining us this week, Deacon Rick. Welcome, Rick.
I'm so excited to be here. Looking forward to our conversation, and I'm excited about being in Freedom in the Word. I'm a big advocate, big fan of it, so I'm looking forward to our conversation. So.
I am as well. Deacon Rick, as I talked to you before, we are focusing this month on fatherhood. And I think one of the most important roles for us is being a father.
Right.
You know, I am not a father. I lost, as you know, I've talked to you plenty of times offline. I lost my father when I was 11 years old. And so what we want to do and start with you is just, talk to our audience about your background growing up. You know, if there was a father in the home, if you've got other siblings, and just if there wasn't a father in your home, who played that role? Who helped play that role?
Well, I grew up with 7 siblings.
Wow.
5 sisters, and so I always tell people I had 2 daddies and 6 mamas. So as we do that, and they still today, even as fully grown as I am now, they still try to tell me what to do. My sister, it is unbelievable.
Sisters.
I'm in the pecking order of my brother was the oldest, I'm the youngest. Now, before you even say it, I was not spoiled. I'm accustomed to having my way. So okay. I'm not spoiled. That's a difference. So let's get that cleared up before you start down that road. So my sisters will tell you it's totally different because they did spoil me in the worst kind of way, along with my mom and grandmother.
Was there any individual male figures in the community, in the church, that helped facilitate in you becoming, going from what we talked about in previous, going from a male to a man?
Yes, I grew up in a very small town. Okay. We had probably roughly 500 blacks in the town.
Wow.
And naturally, you knew everybody, and everybody knew you.
Yeah.
One of the key elements of people that was my mentors were actually deacons in the church.
Yeah.
And members in the community that were older than me. They took an interest in me because I played sports.
Okay.
And they came and supported me. And they also had my ear, which I didn't really understand at that point in time. They tried to guide me to be the man I grew up to be.
Yeah.
They wanted me to do the things that would make them proud, and I tried to aspire to do that, and I came out all right.
Yeah, I think that's something, now that you're saying that we certainly have in common. I know I've shared with you again that, my father passed when I was 11, and it was really incumbent upon, the men of the church. Right. That's really what it boiled down to. It was, Sunday school. It was, the scouting program. It was coaches, as you said, those types of things, those types of individuals that after my father passed, that really helped me grow and helped try to keep me on the right path.
Right. Yeah, and that was instrumental for me. And we also, you think of young men that's running around. We all had goals and aspirations to do, and I think that guided us toward being men. And from being my father wasn't there, one of the key things I always thought about was I always wanted to be a dad.
Okay.
Even though he was absent and wasn't there. And I can remember maybe when I was 6 or 7, he'd come to visit, and actually, obviously he left. And I remember that day that I said, I want to be a dad. Mm-hmm. And I says, and I would never ever leave my children.
Yeah.
Now, it's not a sad story, but it's a story that didn't prevent me from becoming to be a dad or wanting to be a dad, or me saying, oh, I'll never want to be a dad. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah. And I'm a proud father of 2 daughters.
Yep.
Both of them are in grad school.
Wonderful.
I'm very, very proud of them. And
should be.
More so than anything, thank God they took their mom's brains. They didn't get it for me, but I'm glad that they do have it, and also her looks as well. But for the most part, they are very good kids, and I think that they'll probably say they'll keep me.
Okay. Well, so now as you're talking about going and becoming a father, right, and being this example for these 2 young ladies. So talk to me now, I guess, about your influence on what the things that maybe you saw growing up that you said, I want to do this as a father, or the things you said, I don't want to do that as a father. What helped you lead and guide you as a father?
One of the things, I always wanted to be present.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And always wanted to spend time with them and try to guide them. As I grew up, there were things I know that I missed of not having a dad to guide me and tell me. But thank goodness for my brother. He was 20 years older than me.
Okay.
So again, he was really like a father. And he always scared me straight, because he didn't play and he didn't want me to get in trouble or anything like that. One of the key things I think about growing up is and wanting to become a man and be a father was the importance of trying to make sure that I guided my children in a Christian way.
Yeah.
I'd always said I wanted to be a dad. I always wanted to be a dad. And the funny story is, when my oldest daughter we discovered that she was going to be born, I told my wife, and it's a funny story. She looks at me and says, "You're crazy." I said, "You done gone and messed up now." I said, "I'm not going anywhere." I said, you got a part of me growing inside of you. I said, if we ever get divorced, you just got to go to a separate room in the house, because I'm not going anywhere. So, and she just looked at me. She said, "You're crazy." But it was just the love for family, the love for children. And I remember growing up missing some of the key elements, but I think I gleaned and got all those from all the people that was within my circle.
Yeah. Back
when I grew up, it was the village raised the kids.
Correct.
And you could be up the street being too loud, and someone could pull you in and give you a spanking and send you home, which you hoped they would call you mom. But when they did, it was pretty much, it was a lot of trouble there. So, but that was a part of being a good dad. I've always wanted to do that. I was driven by the absence of my dad. Yeah. And I wanted my kids to always be able to say that my dad was there.
Definitely. He
provided for us. He did all the things. And to be honest with you, they'll tell you real quick, they're real spoiled. And they wear that with a badge of honor.
They wear with a badge of honor. Yes. So were there any things that I guess that you said that you wouldn't do as a father? Were there any types of things that you can remember and say, because, of the circumstances that you talked about with your father, some things that you said that there's no way you would do these things with your girls?
Yeah, and when I became a dad, prior to that, everybody's, you're doing your different things, drinking, whatever it may have been at that time. When my child was born, I quit drinking.
Okay.
And I just didn't think that was something I should be emulating in front of them.
Wow. Yeah.
And it drove me to do different things. I've had, every male that goes to the doctor and they have to have certain things done to them that they say they don't want to have done to them. I put it off until my daughter was born, and I gladly told the doctor, now's the time. And he says, "Why is that?" I'm getting ready to have a child. Yeah. And I don't want anything health-wise to impede me watching them grow up and become the young lady or young man that they were going to be. And having two daughters, they just wait for the sucker light to come on. I tell them no, but they just wait for the sucker light. He really doesn't mean that. He said no, but he doesn't mean that. He'll come back in a couple of days and say, "Okay, y'all were talking about this," and they know me well, and so they don't even get upset with me. That no doesn't mean no.
It's temporarily, but they know
whatever they want, they're gonna get it.
Yeah, it's delayed, not denied. Not denied.
And they don't have to wait very long for it either, because they can give me the cold shoulder, and I understand what that means.
That means you need to get into action.
Action, that's right.
Okay. So I guess as we prepare to close, Deacon Rick, talk to me about just what are your thoughts about just now with what the church stands, where the church is on in this society that we're in with young males, young females, young people that maybe they don't have a father in their lives. What stance should the church play in the church as well as outside the four walls in the community? What do you think about that?
Well, I only glean back onto my past. Mm-hmm. I think the church was instrumental in who I was, watching the deacons in their deportment of the things that they did, the way they carried their lives, the way that they come in. They were supportive. They would come to games. They had children, but they also supported other kids. Deacons taught Sunday school, mm-hmm. and they would ask you to come, and they'd come pick you up from home and take you to church. those things were very meaningful to me, and it made a world of difference for me. And I try to emulate that same in my deacon role here at Ebenezer.
Yeah.
Is that anything I can do to help a younger person, and I'm trying to be a living example before them. And I just think it's important that young people get involved in the church and get.
So Deacon Rick, talk to me about, just what do you believe is the church's role, I guess, in whether it's inside the four walls or even outside of the four walls, in helping facilitate, being a father, being a role model, being, an example, just for not just males, but also females as well?
Well, I think the church plays the most vital role. Growing up, that was the hub of our moral compass and what we did. It was also a place where you got to see men emulate what being a man was.
Yeah.
I would carefully watch other men, how they interacted with their wives and with their kids. And naturally the parents that were good dads to their kids, it sort of made me a little melancholy. But knowing that they were in love and showing love and affection to their spouse, it also taught me that that's what I should be doing when I grew up. Now, you fast forward to our kids today. I think scouting is a great program we have here at Ebenezer. I think the oratorical contest, the youth ministry, all the things that we do as youth church, I think that it gives them an opportunity to be in those roles of leadership and doing things their way versus setting in a growing environment. And I think because we offer that, I think their lives will be enriched for that.
Well, I know that just thinking here about Ebenezer, something else you talked about, with the different programs we have, it was really the Abide Men's program where I was really introduced to you as well as other men in the church. And I think, it's those types of programs, those types of things that really help facilitate, a growth, a maturation, not just spiritually, but also just, as a man, as a husband, as a father. I think that's something that the Ebenezer has championed with the Abide program, with just those men that you can talk and be real about, and just they're down to earth. They're always, you guys have always been very welcoming and just always been there to help and assist, not just men my age, but even amongst your own peers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I've certainly been blessed and enriched by being in the Abide program as well, and it does my heart great to see younger men come in. We've had them young as 13, 14 years old coming with their dads, and we've had people like you that came in and you've stuck with us, and we certainly appreciate that. And you're a vital part of what we do. You do the teaching, you do those type things, and you add a great deal to the lesson. We're certainly glad that we know Abide will be around for a long time.
Yeah. I think it's always those great things, those great programs that Ebenezer has that can help benefit us spiritually as well as naturally. So Deacon Rick, in your closing, do you have any closing thoughts that you want to provide? Closing, just to our listening audience, just about fatherhood overall.
I think it's very important as a dad that we are being present with our kids.
Yeah.
And we're present with even kids that are not ours.
Wow.
Because we can have a powerful influence on them. Because guess what? As hard-headed as we may have been, we always listen to the other dad or the other mom, even though we didn't listen to our own parents. But sometimes I think my parents said, "You need to tell him this," versus I think she knew how to get around that. But I think as we grow as men, it's vitally important that we be the emulation. I taught men's Bible study on Monday night, and I said to the group, is that sometimes the only Bible that people read are us.
Yeah.
It's not the written word. So as men, we have to walk in a circumspectly way that is a way of deportment that shows the love that we have that's been given to us by our Lord and Savior. In addition to that, we need to also be able to give that love to others and be present and being willing to sacrifice and give and make someone else's life better. Yeah. And I think with our kids, it's vitally important that we are there and we're present and we spend time with them in everything that they do.
Wonderful thoughts, Deacon Rick. We certainly appreciate your time. We certainly appreciate you coming on and joining us as we continue our focus on fathers. Ebenezer family, continue to like, share, comment. Just provide us some thoughts as to just some feedback as we continue our focus on fathers. Again, we look forward to you joining us next week. We'll have a new speaker with us and a new guest on week 3 on our focus on fatherhood. Until then, I'm Minister Lonnie Harris. This, of course, is Deacon Rick, and we'll talk to you later. God bless you.